Murder at Ocean View College. Chapter 18. Danny solves problems. Over the weekend, Danny tried to call Jade on her cell phone 3 times, but she didn't answer, and she didn't call him back. He figured that she must have seen him with Amber at the football game. On Saturday, he went to the florist in the neighborhood and ordered a dozen red roses to be delivered to his Jade. Most of the weekend, however, he spent helping his father around the house. They were painting the kitchen. He also spent a lot of time thinking about his problem. "Danny, what's wrong with you?" Mr. Soto asked. "You're not paying attention. You already painted that door." Danny stopped and looked at his father. "I'm all right. I've just got a lot on my mind." "Are you thinking about that girl, Jade?" Danny didn't try to hide this from his father. "I'm thinking about a lot of things. Jade is one. She thinks you don't like her." Mr. Soto continued to paint silently for several minutes. Danny waited, hoping his father would be reasonable. "Are you serious about her, Danny? She doesn't speak Spanish. She's not even Catholic." "But Dad, that doesn't matter to me. I like her. I really like her," Danny answered immediately. Mr. Soto nodded his head. He was silent until they finished painting. Danny wasn't sure what that meant. Maybe his father was beginning to understand. By evening, he had a plan. Or actually, several plans. First, he was going to talk to Mr. Taylor about his math. He wanted to see if he could pick up any information about these stolen tests or clues on how it worked. He actually was having a little trouble with math anyway, so he wouldn't have to make up an excuse. And he remembered Mr. Taylor inviting anyone with questions to visit him in his office. Next was Amber. He certainly didn't want to go out with her again, but he was sure that she had the rest of the information he needed. Somehow, the test-stealing business fit into this murder case. He didn't know how, but he wanted to find out. He decided that Crystal was the perfect choice. She could get information out of a stone wall. And anyway, she already knew something about the case. And he could trust her. Besides, that would fit into the solution of the third problem, Jade. Because she was Jade's best friend, he was sure that he could pass information from Crystal to Jade, especially since Jade had not been picking up her phone when he called. She had not called to thank him for the roses. On Monday morning, Danny set his plans in motion. He arrived on campus early and went to Peterson Hall. He hoped to talk to Mr. Taylor. When he got to the 7th floor, he saw that Mr. Taylor was not in. He checked the schedule posted beside the door and found out that he would be in his office that afternoon at 1 o'clock. Good. He would come back then. He decided that he should prepare some questions to ask, just so he wouldn't get there, sit silent like a stone, and look stupid. When he left Peterson Hall, he went up the hill to the Criminal Justice Bungalow. He hoped to catch Crystal before she got too busy. On the way, he thought about what he would tell her. Danny was reaching out his hand to open the door when it flew open, and a tall, dark woman rushed out, almost knocking him down. "Danny!" Crystal sounded surprised. "Sorry." "CJ, just the person I was looking for." She squinted her eyes at him and tightened her jaw. "Oh, sorry, Crystal. I forgot. It might take me some time to remember that. Well, we had a deal, and you promised. You can't call me CJ anymore. Anyway, why are you looking for me? She asked. I need your help. He looked her in the eye, but didn't say anything else. Crystal stared back at him. With what? Do you have time? Can we go somewhere and talk now? It's important, Danny pleaded. She stared at him a second before answering. All right. How about the cafeteria? No, I don't want anyone to hear us. We need some privacy. Okay, how about the squad car? I'm on duty pretty soon. It won't hurt to start a little early. You can ride along. Danny agreed and followed her to the college police car parked outside the bungalow. They got in, and Crystal drove slowly toward the gymnasium at the south end of the campus. She looked at Danny and said, So, talk. He cleared his throat. Well, he stuttered, I want you to investigate Amber. Investigate Amber? Why? Well, you see, Danny started again, Coach Kelly is buying tests, and Amber knows something about it, but she won't tell me because she's afraid of incriminating herself. She called it the amendment thing. Crystal looked surprised, and then she laughed. The laugh put Danny at ease. He smiled and continued his story, explaining that he could not go out with her again. She's sweet on me, Crystal, and I only went out with her because I knew she had some information. Honest. He raised his right hand like he was swearing a promise. But I can't go out with her again. You know, she kissed me twice. Crystal turned and looked at him. She shook her head. Ah, Danny, you get yourself into some of the weirdest messes. She paused a minute. Just what is it you want me to do? I already told you I am not helping you with what you call your first murder case. I told you to lay off that one. Captain Mitchell would be really mad if you were investigating Miss Quinn's murder. This is different, Crystal. Good, Danny. You're starting to remember, she smiled. Crystal, this is about some kind of illegal activity going on in the athletics department. Coach Kelly is buying tests for the football players so they will remain eligible to play, and I want you to find out from Amber how it works. She was quiet as she drove the squad car around the gymnasium and out the back entrance. She took a deep breath and finally spoke. Okay, I'll see what I can find out, but I can't promise you anything. Danny was so excited he reached out to hug her. She slapped his hands away and looked at him. You're in too much trouble now, boy. Don't you think you better be on your way and try to straighten some of it out? Danny hopped out of the patrol car, then turned and waved at Crystal. She was smiling at him.